Will Ospreay against Darby Allin in the Gold League. I think everyone looked at this as the big match on the show, and this one did not disappoint. I thought this was one of the best TV matches of the year, and I think this was like a top 25 match for Will this year. Darby early on hits a tope suicida early on and is teasing the coffin drop. So Ospreay rolls to the edge of the apron, and Darby shifts his footing and goes for a coffin drop, missing Will. He hit this edge of the apron with a thud I have never heard a man's body make in a wrestling ring quite like this. If this guy never got up from this one bump, it would not have surprised me in the least. The speed and the sound that this made was like, I was in pain watching this.
He's done this before, and
he has, but somehow this one was the one that I think I will always think of whenever he tries this again in the future, because this one just had some different kind of pop to it. Like, this thud will be embedded in my memory for at least a week.
Yeah, every time this guy does this, I mean, they say like he's got his ways of making this maybe look worse than it actually is, but God, I can't imagine.
Let's take his word for it.
I can't imagine this was painless. Okay, he's just a different type of wrestler.
So I mean, they are just going at a pace you are just not going to see too many guys working at, and man, they hit everything in this match, and there were some intricate sequences that they had mapped out. Like, I double checked before this. Like, this is the first time that they have had a match together. I thought maybe they crossed paths and Evolve or something like that. I mean, that's even more impressive that you watch this and you would have thought like these guys have wrestled each other countless times and they've just got their rhythm. Like, these were two bodies that were just in sync with one another. Ospreay lands the cheeky Nando's kick, and then the Code Red gets countered. So Will, landing on his feet, hits the hidden blade, goes for the Stormbreaker, and then Darby hits this crisp Code Red for an awesome near fall, and the crowd's going nuts here. Darby then sidesteps a Os Cutter into a coffin drop, coming off the rope, gets a 2 count, and then Darby decides he's going to go for a superplex to Will to the floor. Will stops this, ending on the edge where he lifts up Darby for a Styles Clash. Then he turns 90 degrees towards the floor, and he just stands there long enough for all of the crowd to realize what they are about to see. And he hits a Styles Clash to the floor and buckles his knee upon impact. So he's selling the knee. Darby beats the count right into a perfectly timed Os Cutter. This is just incredible. Goes for the Stormbreaker after that, and Darby counters, landing the Scorpion Death Drop, climbs to the top, coffin drop to the back, one more, hitting the proper version on the chest, and pinning Will Ospreay in 14 minutes and 38 seconds in just a unbelievable match. This was spectacular.
Yeah,
this was the best match of the tournament for my money, ahead of the Kyle Fletcher Mark Briscoe match from Saturday, which was another excellent match. This was at another level.
Yeah, when we maybe, like, in my mind, I've kind of been comparing, maybe unfairly, like the C2 to the G1, and I say that's unfair because I think like a TV format versus like just a New Japan World format should be very different, and the matches booked should be very different. But like I've yet to really kind of see the C2 reach the standard or the consistency of a G1 where we're getting like match of the year candidates. These past 2 episodes of AEW television are where we've kind of turned the corner slightly on that, between the Fletcher Briscoe match and now this match. This is now becoming a tournament that I think you can discuss in the same breath as the G1, starting to. You know, this totally lived up to, I think, my very high expectations of what these two would be capable of together. Like, incredibly precise in everything that they attempt.
Amazing.
Yeah, incredible agility. Like, I wonder how much rehearsal went on between these two. But like, you almost get the sense that like they're just kind of built to like do everything perfectly that they dream of. Like, you rarely see them botch. And when the two of them are together, it's magical, you know. Flawless execution of some of these sequences, including several of those Stormbreakers counters that you just have to watch in like 0.25x in order to really appreciate like the precision at which they're executing all of these perfect flips. You know it's Darby, so you know there's going to be some crazy bumps in there, and you saw that with the Styles Clash off the apron. You saw it with the missed coffin drop off the apron. I loved beyond just even the crazy bumps and the athleticism, the desperation of Darby Allin as he's coming off of that Scorpion Death Drop, still selling the effects of that Styles Clash off the apron, and having to just like basically like rush, you know, with the last ounces of energy that he has to do those 2 coffin drops, lit this crowd up entirely, and provided one of the highlights of our wrestling tournament that we've been watching here.
Yeah, and I think just to that point of Collision, which we talked about, was a really strong show on Saturday. They gave you a great kind of setup for this match as well between Ospreay and Darby Allin. This was not just, it's their pairing in the Gold League and it's time for them to have their match. Like they had something set up on Saturday, and they're going to have stuff coming out of this as well after this tournament. But this was, the match to check out from the show. It was excellent. Claudio walks out at the end, and he's eyeing Darby, who he's got on Saturday on Collision. So, I mean, man, these two, after this match, and they've got to come back Saturday, and both have really big matches. Darby with Claudio, and of course, Ospreay with Urkel.
If you like this video, consider joining our Patreon, the Post Wrestling Cafe. Multiple bonus podcasts every week, ad-free shows, and access to our full archive. Otherwise, a like and subscribe is much appreciated. Thank you for watching.